I think this is just covering the thing that we've seen a while back, which was the staff of homeless situation.
Look.
But it'll be good to learn more about it. It'll be good to learn more about it, because I only know that Tetton pulled on the banner and got absolutely fucked over a lot, I think, and then they added the fate point thing. Which kind of feels like me with Wolf's Gravestone right now, but I haven't spent anywhere near as much.
Look, throughout the years, we've heard of these kinds of stories many times, unfortunately. Singaporean dad, $20,000 in debt after daughter's in-game purchases in Genshin
That's ridiculous.
Impact. And the daughter, by the way, they make her seem like she's 5 years old. She's 18 years old. 18! My God! At first, I thought I was scammed. Yeah, you were, buddy.
Yeah, you were by your own daughter.
But the incident we're talking about today is different. It wasn't a case where someone was spending their money out of ignorance. It was someone who thought they knew what they were getting themselves into, but ended up getting slapped across the face with an extremely faulty mechanic.
I fucking mean...
that they inadvertently exposed to the entire world. But before we talk about this crazy incident, my brand risk of a channel somehow got a sponsor, so thank you, Opera GX, for sponsoring this video.
Congrats.
We're gonna go to the GX store and pick out a GX mod. This is my favorite GX.
Alright, go to the video and download Opera GX through the link. It's very good, but we've seen a lot of Opera GX sponsors. That's the sponsor.
Incident that makes it so significant.
Damn.
Well, this is about a streamer who single-handedly defied all odds to be one of the unluckiest people in this game's history. He lost over $2,000 trying to get one copy of a weapon that...
I'm trying to think, how much do you reckon I've spent on Wolf's Gravestone alone, chat? I actually don't know how much I would have spent just on Wolf's Gravestone. At least 3K? You think? Really? Nah. It can't be that much just on trying to get Wolf's Gravestone. Maybe like 1.5 max. Surely not.
It doesn't even matter that much in the grand scheme of things. But while hilarious watching him suffer, it shined a light on a massive flaw in this game and its mechanics. And unfortunately for miHoYo, who made Genshin Impact, this was exposed to everyone because it didn't happen to just some random guy. It happened to one of its biggest content creators at the time. So what the hell happened, and how was miHoYo convinced to do something that is never done in the gacha space? We're finding out together. Sit down for your lesson in online degeneracy. The staff of homeless incident happened in the beginning of 2021, and for you to really understand the gravity of the situation, you need some context.
Oh no.
Genshin Impact came out at the end of 2020 during the height of the pandemic loneliness, so for many people, including myself, this was our first gacha game ever.
Was also mine, but I didn't start in 2020.
Now, to understand how a gacha game works, it's more simple than you think. You would have just had to play Overwatch back when they had loot boxes. It's practically the same thing. The difference here is that you're not getting cosmetics, you're getting things that affect gameplay directly.
Exactly.
So characters and weapons. Now, apparently, due to my past criticism of the Chinese government, sponsors are very scared of me. So let me say this. China's amazing because they came up with something the West would never come up with. They forced any video game operating on their territory to reveal the exact odds of what you might get in gambling mechanics. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. This is literally gambling, okay? This is your...
When did that become a thing? When they started to force games to reveal the odds? 2018, I think? Really? Was it that long ago? Holy
Quite
shit.
literally at a casino, but it's in-game and it involves anime characters. That's how it is. And with Genshin Impact being a Chinese game, it means that we know the exact odds of everything in their games of chance. This is how we're able to deduct that what happened to Tetton, the streamer in question that had to spend $2,000 to get such a basic item, is insane. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. So gacha games have been sucking money dry out of wallets for a long time. It's only recently that they've gotten so mainstream, at least in the West. During that time, they kind of figured out what makes people pay the most. And of course, it starts...
Hold on. Was that the banner where people were, like, quote-unquote boycotting the January banner for Genshin? They made 100 mil. Or was that Feb? I genuinely can't even remember. Yes. No, that's the Feb one. Interesting. I'm very curious to see the February stats.
Wallets for a long time. It's only recently that they've gotten so mainstream, at least in the West. During that time, they kind of figured out what makes people pay the most. And of course, it starts off with the idea of FOMO, or fear of missing out. This is why there's always
FOMO
a
and good
timer
characters, of
associated
course.
with things you can spend your money on. In Genshin, it's 20 days. Back in the very simple days of 2021, when no one really knew what they were doing, every 20 days you would get one character banner and one weapon banner. Now, the character banner is very easy to understand. There's only one 5-star character that's featured on there, and that's the one you want. If you don't get them within 20 days, they're gone. Unless they get a rerun, you can't get them again. You see the power of FOMO? Yeah, it's pretty powerful. To wish on the banner, or let's just say it plainly, gamble, you need a currency called primogems, or as I like to call them, twinkle tits, baby.
Forgot about the
Genshin
twinkle
uses
tits.
a system used in most gacha games, and it's called a pity system. Now, get ready for some mathematics.
Oh,
so if you were to wish once, you have a 0.6% chance of getting a 5-star. Not great odds, right? But the way a pity system works is it feels sorry for you, and so it increases odds the more you wish. There is this great community-made chart by Roxanne on Hoylab that shows you this. As you can see from the chart, everything is flat up until the 73 mark. This is where a soft pity starts, which starts to make your odds
I actually didn't know soft pity started at 73.
a bit better each time until you reach hard pity. This is a hard ceiling at 90, which guarantees that you'll get a 5-star because they don't want you to be too unlucky. How kind of them. But getting the 5-star is the least of your worries because that's where the fun starts. Then there's a coin flip that happens, which will dictate whether you'll get the character you want, the one featured on the banner, or you'll be getting an outdated character no
Fuck you.
one likes from the standard banner, effectively meaning that you lost the 50-50.
Oh, he 100% did that shit on purpose.
You lost the coin flip.
After that
now, the
talk
good
we had?
news is that if you lost the coin flip, the next 5-star you get is guaranteed to be the limited time character. Isn't that awesome? How generous, right?
Yeah, very
Seeing
generous.
this, it's not hard to
Guaranteed.
understand why gacha games get so much criticism. This is practically a casino that feels sorry for you. But why am I telling you about this? Well, it's simple. The character banner, in comparison to the weapon banner,
It's
is
a godsend, dude.
extremely reasonable.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Insane. And yeah, I'm sure you know this by now, but this whole incident happened on the weapon banner because Tectone was trying to get the Staff of Ahoma.
Can I get fucking one?
Now, the weapon banner will be similar to the character banner in the sense that, yes, it does have a pity system as well, except you need to reach 77
I would love this fucking banner right now, I'm just saying.
pulls instead of 90 to get heart pity. Now, you might be thinking, oh, okay, so less to get heart pity, that's cool. Well, everything after that is significantly worse. Here's how it goes. When you get a 5-star on a weapon banner, there are two main things that can happen. You have a 75% chance to get one of the two main featured
this is
weapons,
how it used to be?
or you have a 25% chance that will give you a random standard banner weapon, the ones you don't want. Similarly to the character banner, if you hit that 25% chance on the weapon banner and get a standard weapon, then hey, next time you get a 5-star, it'll be guaranteed one of the two limited ones. So with that being said, you realistically have a 37.5% chance to actually get the weapon that you want.
Oh, no.
However, there was one major flaw with this system, whether intended or not. Okay, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt here. There was a vital missing safeguard. You had absolutely zero way to guarantee the weapon you want.
Weapon you would
You could
get,
theoretically
yeah.
win the 75% chance coin flip and get the weapon you don't want. You could theoretically lose the 25% chance and then get it guaranteed only to get the weapon you don't want. You could theoretically keep losing over and over and not get the weapon you wanted because there was no safeguard for that. But realistically, the odds of that happening are pretty damn low. Unless your name is Tectone, in which case they're not. In fact, what if I told you that what happened to Tectone was so unlucky that the odds of it happening are less than 0.3%? I mean, man, he can't catch a break. He's been homeless, he lost his hair before 30, and now this? I mean, come on, man. Give this guy a break.
Jesus.
Tectone's content at the time was centered mainly around Genshin Impact. That's why he was known as the Genshin guy, a name he hates today, because he mainly made guides, tier lists, those sorts of things for Genshin. He was particularly excited for the Staff of Homa because it was the first weapon that was so creative with its main mechanic. Most weapons thus far were fairly boring, but the Staff of Homa had something unique. It scaled off of your base HP, and that made Tectone very hyped about it.
Nowadays, you get a weapon that scales off base HP, everybody shits the fucking bed calling it dog shit, dude, or too niche.
That's why he planned an entire wishing stream centered around it. So this right here is the first stream in question. Yes, first, 1 out of 2. And as you can tell from the title, it didn't go so well. It's at 1.1 million views and quickly became a meme in the Genshin community. He starts off being very hyped, but as you can see from the most replayed parts of the video, some things happened. So he pulls a 5-star early here, okay?
I've never seen this.
But unfortunately, he gets a wolf's gravestone, right? The next one he gets, he's really hyped about too, because man, this is also fairly early too.
Right? Pretty fucking...
I've never seen this.
It's another wolf's gravestone. And as you can see from his face, things aren't going so well. Oh, but if only he knew that this was just the beginning. Because shortly afterwards...
It's something that I don't have, Max, please. Good? Uh-huh. 1 spear? Fucking kidding me?
The odds already are crazy, okay? He wants a 75% chance 3 times in a row to get the same weapon 3 times in a row.
Fucking hell.
What in the
But it's not over. Because now he lost the 25% chance and he got something else.
Oh,
so now think to yourself, okay? He lost a 25% chance, right? Which means the next 5-star is going to be a guaranteed either Wolf's Gravestone or Staff of Homa. This is a coin flip to get the weapon he wants. It's 1 of 2, all right? So what do you think happens? Well...
I don't fucking God! You have to be fucking kidding me!
Dude, I think if I'd have seen this before I started playing, I might not have played.
Because guess what? He's doing push-ups, trying his best to get the Homa, doing these rituals. And then, look at this. He gets another one, right?
God.
And guess what it is? $1,000 down the drain. This was the first stream, okay? He had done a full stream trying to get the staff, thinking, oh, I'm just gonna spend $500. He spent $1,000 and didn't even get 1 copy. Before we get to his second stream, you probably have a question. What do you do with multiple copies of a weapon or multiple copies of a character in Genshin? Well, it's simple. Multiple copies will give you more passive stats. So as an example with the Staff of Homa, HP's increased by 20% on 1 copy, but when you get 5 copies, it's 40%. Yeah. And yes, it's quite literally pay to win. But since this is a single player game with co-op elements, it's not that big of a deal, right?
Yeah, I would argue it's not even pay to win. What the fuck are you winning? You're not winning anything. You straight up fucking lose 100% of the time.
But if you're playing a game like Epic 7, where it's a multiplayer PvP game, the top players are really just here flexing their wallets, saying, yo, I spent more than you. Yeah, I won. So what? Like, it's ridiculous. With $1,000, you can easily get multiple copies of the same character or even multiple copies of the same weapon, but Tectone couldn't even get 1! And he had to do another wishing stream just to hope that he gets 1 copy of the Staff of Homa. So this right here is his part 2. Can I finally summon Staff of Homa? Again, at almost 1 million views, this got a lot of attention.
Video as well.
So unfortunately for him, the answer to his question wasn't so straightforward.
I don't think I've ever seen him actually get it.
On his second stream, he got another 5-star at around the 5-minute mark in this video.
Hey, I'll also take a
and guess what?
If you want to f up with that shit, bro.
It's another Wolf's Gravestone. And in Tectone's own words, here's what he has to say, just to remind you.
I have now gotten 8 Wolf's Gravestones back to back to back to back to whatever times 8 back is.
Just imagine wagering with your friend and losing 8 coin flips in a row. But of course, it's not over yet. Because on his next 5-star, he gets bamboozled so hard.
Oh, it's gonna be another fucking staff, is it? Another spear.
Yeah!
So what happened here is that he thought he finally got the Staff of Homa, but it turned out to be the Skyward Spine. He thought the silhouette was the Staff of Homa. He got baited so hard.
Oh my god, dude.
He then finally gets it around the 12-minute mark right here.
He's gotta be so relieved, dude.
Please, God.
After spending $2,000.
We're done. Let's go,
Jesus Christ.
dude. Let's go.
One of the craziest unlucky situations I have ever seen.
Yeah, that's just
the community
insane.
reaction was almost instant, with people making threads and talking about how bad his luck is and about the weapon banner in general. Of course, this spread on Twitter, Reddit, and Hoyolab. My favorite reactions are on Hoyolab because they express that the
Nothing's
weapon banner
changed.
sucks, but are still happy because they don't like Tectone.
Yeah.
I don't even like him, but I felt that pain. I don't
This
even
is
feel sorry for him.
2021 as
Serves him
well.
right for making
Holy.
dubious and bullshit tier list. Mihoyo is a legend. LMAO, I hate Tectone so much.
Oh my god.
Hey man, I think it's easy to say that his tier lists were just a bit controversial back then.
Yeah, you don't
But that
say.
wasn't it. Some of the biggest Genshin content creators at the time, like Mtashed, also spoke about this issue, especially after what happened to Tectone.
More because it's like, you just charged Tectone $2,000?
And he was arguing that they were taking so much money but not adding enough new content in the game. The idea that the weapon banner was a scam was
That was an argument then?
already prevalent, with new players always asking if it's worth it and veteran players saying no, it's not, especially if you're free to play. But what happened with Tectone really amplified the sentiment, which ended up making Mihoyo do something that is never really done in the gacha space ever, which is taking a step back and re-evaluating their gacha system, more specifically
Yeah, which I think is the
weapon
only time
banner.
they've ever done
Everything
that.
changed in the 2.0 update, and here's a post that was posted on July 9th, 2021 that explains everything. The introduction of a new
This
mechanic for the
changes
weapon banner,
everything.
specifically called epitomized path. So the way this works is, before you start wishing, you're meant to select one of
I'm actually kind of fucking curious, to be honest with you, chat. How many people were eating this shit up? And how many people were pissed off that it's fate points and that you had to lose two 50-50s still? I'm curious. Because the amount of people that are pissed off with the one fate point in the new banner, I'm curious with how bad this weapon banner used to be and how good it turned out with the two fate points, even though it's still dog shit. I'm curious who was pissed off about it.
the two featured weapons that you want. So let's say you want the sword Skyward Pride. If you're unlucky
Interesting.
enough to lose and get lost prayers, or even lose the 25% and get a standard banner weapon, then you get one fate point. If you lose again, then you get another fate point. And at this
Yep.
point, when you have 2 out of 2 fate points, what this means is that the third 5-star you get will guaranteed be Skyward Pride. So that means you can lose a
I see.
maximum of 2 times before getting what you want on the third time, right? So yeah, it's still kind of scummy. Of course, the weapon banner is not free-to-play friendly at all. It never is, but it's way better than losing 10 times in a row.
Yeah, it was a better product, but it wasn't a great product, to be honest. I will never really understand why they didn't just change it to one fate point and one 50-50. I don't really fucking get that, to
Like
be honest.
Tectone, okay? It is
She was
way
just
better.
insane.
But for the people who are fortunate enough to watch Tectone go through something that happens once in a lifetime, it's very hard to look at the weapon banner the same way. And I mean, yeah, I
True.
wasn't aware of what happened to Tectone back then, but now that I know, I'm definitely not going to be able to see the weapon banner the same way ever again. And I think this is a perfect time to end it with what Tectone himself said about this whole incident.
Nearly $2,000 spent on this banner
That's a
to
lot.
get one Staff of Homa.
That is a lot.
Please be careful with your spending. It's very dangerous and can lead you down a very slippery slope very quickly.
Absolutely, Tectone. Thank
Yep,
you so
I
much for
agree.
your insight. Don't be like that one girl who spent $20,000 from her dad's credit card. Please. Thank you so much for watching.
Mujin, another absolutely banger video. I actually agree. You know what I just thought? If back then, one person spending $2,000 on the banner made them change it to try get one weapon that they couldn't get. Maybe we go for Kagura's Verity for